The tech industry is livid about the fact that they feel that Supreme Court justices are out of touch with anything that has to do with the tech field. And they specifically cite a few different instances during hearings. In fact, in one instance, a U.S. Supreme Court justice referred to Netflix as Netflick. That was actually Justice Sotomayor. And also another seemed to not know that HBO is a cable channel. That was Scalia. And a third appeared to think most software coding could be tossed off in a mere weekend at a coffee shop.
Internets.
I love this story because obviously the Supreme Court has to make rulings on some serious issues involving technology. You know, we have issues with privacy concerns and all of that. More recently, there was an issue with Aereo. It is basically a website that was streaming television content for a low price, and so there was a copyright concern there. And so the tech community was concerned that, you know, these justices are so out of touch with the current technology today that it's difficult for them to make an educated ruling on such a complex issue.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure they're right. I'm not sure that understanding the technology, that understanding the law, that you need to understand the technology to understand the law, and you could probably be made to understand the technology. These are incredibly smart people. My hunch is that Sonia Sotomayor, right, some of them, could understand, could be explained in 2 minutes what Netflix is and why it's important, and the fact that she called it I mean, some of it is like the fact that, like, my dad adds an S to everyone's name who seems like it should have an S on it. You know? I mean, he would just be like, you know, oh yeah, I saw your show today with Anna Kasparian. You know, like it's just he's done it forever. Like they just get it wrong.
I would die. That's really funny. I actually. I don't think
my dad still thinks the Young Turks is a radio show, so he's not watching.
So does like 25% of our audience. Like when they meet us, they'll be like, "I love your radio show."
Yeah, totally.
It's not on the radio, but anyway, no, I don't think it's that big of a deal that you know, Sotomayor referred to it as Netflix. It's not that big of a deal as long as you understand what the point of the website is, what the point of the service is, I should say. But in the case of Antonin Scalia, to not know that HBO is a cable network, I think is more than problematic. That means you don't even know that it exists.
It's not FXX, it's HBO. It's been around for a while. It's been around for the majority of his life.
Yeah.
Right, that's true.
Suiciders.
The only point I want to make on this is I disagree a bit with Ben.
One more.
One of the things I've used on the Google is to pull up maps.
I can't believe you slammed this. So the part that I disagree in is I agree that they're smart. I think that you probably can sit down 5 of them and explain what the cloud is, or explain what Netflix is, and they can understand literally the words that make up the definition. But what they can't understand is how hundreds of millions of people go about their daily lives, and how it influences their lives, and how it influences their work, and what the cloud means, and what access to streaming media means. It's one thing to understand literally what the technology is, and it's another thing to understand how it affects human lives.
Yeah, they may not understand how totally interwoven with with technology our lives are. That's possible, but I don't think here's where we might agree. I don't think the fact that they don't know how to say Netflix or that HBO is a cable channel is yet indicative of that. Like they may have a better understanding of how technology is involved in our lives, and they don't know. It's just, I mean, it's too bad. It's too bad. I wish they knew, but. The HBO thing is
that's pretty funny.
It's pretty telling, yeah.
But I mean, they don't shows on there.
They probably don't watch it. They probably, I mean, I'm sure there's some Supreme Court justices who don't watch television at all.
Yeah, and look, at the end of the day, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say, like, they are incredibly intelligent, most of them for the most part, right? But you know, I know. Scalia is the one who made the HBO.
That's true.
Issue. So
well, Scalia is intellectually very capable, right?
Yeah,
he gets a lot of things wrong though because his brain doesn't work correctly, and it's weighted down by Bronze Age superstition.
Yes,
that's true. That's all true.
And Thomas would have said a lot of stupid stuff if he had spoken once during the span of this study.